Welcome to the dynamics of everyday life, where we demystify some tricky concepts and get to know ourselves a little bit better. Welcome back to the show, everyone. For those of you on LinkedIn, you'll have seen that I've been a bit more present on there recently. I'm writing about coaching, my experience, what I've learnt, how it all ties in with psychodynamics. Very much my stuff. And I've been enjoying it. There's been good conversations, meeting new people, all the things that social media is supposed to do. And then I saw something that felt very familiar. Now, I clearly don't hold the rights over Freud. Other people can use his theories and apply them to their thinking. That's not the issue. This was something else. It was the structure, the tone, the argument. And I had this slightly odd moment of thinking. I haven't just seen this before. I've written this before. And it got me thinking about that phrase, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But is it? Now, we all know the accepted narrative. We are supposed to take it as a compliment. It means that people are responding to what we're doing, that our work is being noticed, it's even spreading. And there is truth in that. I mean, if people didn't like what you were doing, they wouldn't be using it as a basis for their own work. But, and here's the tension, sometimes it doesn't feel flattering. Sometimes there's this feeling under your skin that something isn't quite right. So what do I mean by this? Well, it can feel exposing, as if something that was personal to you has been lifted and displayed in a way that isn't about you at all, and isn't how you would have chosen to share it. You lose control of it. It's now at the mercy of someone else. And it can feel irritating. That sense of, this is a bit unfair. Something has been taken that isn't quite theirs to take, and they're benefiting from it. Part of you has been absorbed into someone else's identity without a by your leave, and it can leave you feeling slightly derailed. And this doesn't just happen on LinkedIn. A few years ago, someone I knew started dressing quite similarly to me, and I didn't notice it at first. It was only when other people pointed it out that I began to see it. Same kind of style, same look. I got new red trousers. They got new red trousers. That sort of thing. And I felt all sorts. At times, I was amused, because it was quite funny. At other times, irritated. Not because I think I'm any kind of style icon, far from it, but I'm at an age where I don't feel the need to look like anyone else. And then there was this third reaction, curiosity. What is going on here? I mean, we're not back in high school all needing the same pair of earrings to fit in. And of course, it wasn't really about the clothes. It was about what they represented. A kind of identification, a trying on of something. There was something about my life, or what it seemed to represent, that felt desirable. And dressing similarly was a way of getting a little bit closer to that. And I think something similar happens with ideas. People don't just repeat ideas because they agree with them. Sometimes they're trying to inhabit what the idea offers. They see the world the original thinker has created, and that's what becomes seductive. So they take the words and hope that some of that world comes with them. Let's take an example. So recently I've been talking about the idea that insight isn't enough. It's quite a neat phrase. It's easy to repeat. It sounds sophisticated. You can almost hear it said with a slightly smug tone, as if it carries a huge amount of meaning. And this is where we run into problems, because it's much harder to work with than it is to say. When insight isn't enough, you actually have to know what you're doing next. You have to work with what else is happening in the room, where someone is tripping over themselves, why they keep repeating patterns, where the gap is, what needs aren't being met. And that requires more than a catchphrase. We are not comedians from the 1970s. You can copy the words, but you can't copy the thinking underneath them, or the experience behind that thinking, or the hours spent sitting with clients when insight fails. Because it does, and it will. And no amount of well-turned phrases is going to get you out of that. And I suspect you'll have had moments like this yourself. I mean, it is a very human experience. Think about the last time it happened to you. What did you feel? What did you consider doing? Did you ignore it? Did you say something? Or maybe you just felt quietly irritated. I know in moments like this, I've been known to have a bit of a word with myself and think, what would Audrey Hepburn do here? Just to hold on to that little bit of dignity. The more generous way of looking at it is this. If something can be imitated, it is clear enough to travel. So what do I mean by that? Well, people are hearing you, and that matters. But, and this is the important bit, clarity is not the same as depth. Because over time, what stays with people isn't the phrasing or the format. It's the thinking. And if people come to your work to borrow, there's very little you can do about that. You just have to trust that some of them will stay, for the thinking too. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Dynamics of Everyday Life. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. As well as producing this podcast, The Dynamics of Everyday Life has lots more psychodynamic fun going on, and you can find out more at dynamicsofeveryday.life.